everybody, it is Tina. Welcome to my video today, you guys. I know I am running a little bit late this week, so hopefully this video is going to go up for you guys on Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday evening I'll get all the pieces to it finished. But this week the kids start school, so can you guys hear how excited I am? As of right now, they're in school. So you guys, there's nobody in my house right now, just me. Can you believe it? So I'm going to pop some photos in right here of these kids at their first day of school. So these were photos that we took this morning. They were very excited. We got up early. I made pancakes for them. I don't do that every morning, you guys. Let's be real. I'm one of those moms that sometimes send their kids to school with a bag of cereal because we've gotten up late. But I made pancakes and we listened to The Best Day of Your Life and had a really good time this morning. And then this is them on their way out the door, and I'm excited. So things are back to normal, you guys. So let's make a card. And then on Friday, I'm going to have another You Can Make It kit that's going to go up. I'm just running like a day behind on my videos. So let's make some cards. You can see them here. This is what we're going to make. I have this really fun kit that Stampin' Up! Sells. This is the Lots of Happy kit, and I got this a little while ago. I've had it for a little bit, and I wanted to use it, and I love it. You get all these pieces, you get the envelopes, you get colored pencils with this. You can see you get a ton of stuff, right? Okay, so here's the problem. I never could figure out how to use it. Like, I didn't want to just put it together the way they are. I wanted to do something fun with it. You get a stamp set and you get a clear block. So you literally get everything to make all of these cards. But I wanted to do something a little bit different. Well, this is what I realized. I don't necessarily like the background, this tan-ish crumb cake color background. So what I realized is I wanted a pop of color. So I've pulled out the pieces that we're going to use, and we're going to make a card, and we're going to do some coloring. I have some of my blends here. I organized all of my blends, you guys, and then realized that I had two sets sitting out, and I'm going to have to reorganize them. They are in rainbow order. So let's get started here. What I did is I started with a card base. So this is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it is folded in half. And this is going to give me my card base. Then what I realized is I want a card front, and I'm going to do purple. I'm really into the purple since my nails are purple. I'm trying to coordinate everything. I'm loving these purples, the Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape. I can't get enough of. So for our card front, what we're going to do is we're going to have a piece of the purple, and then we're going to have a piece of basic black. Okay. And so my purple is a little bit longer than I need it to be. I just want it at 5.5. It's just about 5.5. Okay. And then my piece of basic black is going to give this really fun pop, right? I love this. Okay, so we can put these together with a little bit of adhesive. Okay, so we got this piece. So next what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make this right here. I'm going to layer this on to the card front. And it's really delicate, so I kind of bent mine. It's going to be a little bit, I'm going to have to make sure I put a little bit of adhesive down there. But this is the only piece I'm going to need for the front of this card. So let's do some coloring, and I want to walk you guys through some of the coloring. I'm going to grab this other mat here. I just got a brand new black mat, and I want to keep it nice. And whenever you're using these blends, what's going to happen is they're going to bleed through. So you can use the colored pencils that come with this kit to color this if you want. I wanted to use my blend since I got some new ones from the holiday catalog. So this is, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, and then we're going to use Highland Heather. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to use is my Wink of Stella. So you guys, I am not a coloring expert. I don't tend to like to color. It's not something that I'm really all that into. I enjoy it for projects like this, but by no means am I an expert. So I'm just going to tell you how I do it and what works for me. So the first thing is that the leaves are going to be the easiest. I feel like that's the easiest kind of image to color. So what I do is I start out with the dark. For this particular, the way I'm going to do this one, I'm going to use the brush tip, and what I'm going to do is just right down the middle where the line is, I'm just going to add some color from the very bottom and then up, and you can see that I'm thinning it as I go up. So hopefully you guys can see this. I'm just starting at the bottom here, adding the color, and then going up. Okay, see that? So a couple things here, you guys. I'm not going to talk through the whole coloring process. I'll speed it up, but I want to give you guys a few tips. So these pens are really juicy. And what happens when you're coloring with these kinds of pens, alcohol-based pens, these are alcohol-based, so they're a little bit different. When you're coloring with markers like this, they're very juicy, and what happens is they seep into the paper that you're using. So first you want to use something that's a little bit thicker. This is great. This is on this image is on a thicker piece of paper. And then what you're going to notice, so now I've done my dark, and I'm going to come back in, and this is going to provide some shading for this image, right? But when you're getting really close to the edge, you want to have a very light hand. And then I don't go all the way to the edge, because what's going to happen is this marker, the ink is going to be sucked into the paper, and it's going to go to the edge of that image, and you don't want your image to bleed. So you don't want the color to bleed through to the outside of the image. So when I'm going over, and you can see like I'm going over the dark where I had that dark ink, I'm not going all the way to the edge of that image. I'm adding it very gently, and I'm having a very light hand, and I'm going in one direction. So for this, I'm going in an up and down direction. I'm not going this way and then this way. I'm keeping that ink flowing in the same direction, and I'm going over it several times. Now, the more you go over your image, the more color you're adding, and the more you're saturating that paper. So if I continue to go over this dark area, even though this is my light color, I'm going to add more. It's going to get darker and darker. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'm not an expert. I have just found kind of what works for me when using these markers, and I just try to make it really easy on myself. So you can see I'll do one more leaf, and then we'll do some of the this other image right here, and then I'll speed through the rest of the coloring for you guys. So now let me show you what I do with the these right here. So now I'm going to start with my light. So I'm going to show you two different ways that you can do this. So I'm going to start with my light, and I'm just going to get the color in here. Again, I'm not going all the way to the edge. I'm kind of letting the paper pull that color right to the edge. That way it doesn't bleed out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color here to the bottom. Some dark shading is what I want. So I'm only going about halfway up, and then I'm going to bring my light color back in. I'm going to start at the bottom of the dark color. So I'm starting all the way here at the bottom, and I'm pulling it up. that's going to give me a little bit of shading here on the bottom. So again, same thing. I'm going to fill all of this with color first with my light color. The whole point of these alcohol markers is you're building color and you're building depth. So your first go around, it doesn't need to be perfect, right? Because you're going to come back in with more color and you're going to let things dry a little bit. And then as you come back with your next color, the reason we're starting at the very bottom, again, is because it's adding more color. It's building and then it's reactivating the color underneath and giving you some really gorgeous shading. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave the camera rolling and I'm going to finish coloring and then we're going to put the card together and we're going to be done. All the coloring is done. So I'm going to do one more thing to these. Oops, this one's not. Okay, so I just want to give one last tip for these. Try to go in the shape that the image is in. Oops, and that's dark. So with these items right here, because they are in a circular shape, I was going in a circular motion and kind of bringing the ink up in different, like in a circle, or like with the leaves, I'm bringing it up into the tip. So hopefully that makes sense, you guys. So now let's bring our card base and our card front over. And we can just add these right to each other, easy peasy. Okay, next we're going to do, well, it's not going to matter if we do the stamping when it's on or off the card because it kind of is what it is. Hopefully I'll get the stamping correct, right? So I'm just going through, I'm adding a little bit of adhesive to this part of the image where it's colored, and you can see that it bleeds through quite a bit. So now what I want to do is just center this onto the card. Okay, that's pretty good. So now we just want to bring our black ink pad. I'm going to use VersaFine ink, and then we are going to use... this one is it says, here's to the happiest birthday yet. And I'm going to use the black, and we're just going to stamp this. Again, hopefully I'll just get it right the first time. Fixing it. Otherwise, yeah, pretty good, right? Okay, so well, not the last thing, but one of the last things I'm going to do is grab my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to add some glitter and some shimmer right to these colored images. That's going to make those colors pop. I did all the purple first, and then I'm just going to wipe off the tip of my brush and do the green. It doesn't tend to pull up the color much when you're doing this, but I don't know, I always feel better doing that. And I'm not being too terribly careful because, again, it's not pulling up the color, and this Wink of Stella is pretty juicy. So we're getting quite a bit of glimmer. Okay, so the very last thing I'm going to do, now this is the last thing, is you guys know I'm in love with these glimmer dots. And so I'm going to take some purple ones and just sprinkle them onto this card. These purple ones are gorgeous. I'll have to grab another sheet because I don't have any smaller purple ones. And I'm just going to put, 3 to 5 on here. I think I'll do 5. Sometimes I can't stop. You guys know that happens to me. So there's this one, and you could do these in any color, but that purple is gorgeous, right? So the other one I did was in this direction, and I did it with the green. So I did the Granny Apple Green as the border, and then I used this image here from the kit. And then it even comes with these squares where this is stitched. You can see I just added a little bit of detail and did a stitched square, but this has the gold around it, and you could just use that. So if you get this kit, this is a fabulous kit to get because you're gonna have so much product to use and play with. And then you can either just follow the directions or you can add a little bit more color. I loved doing this. So let me know down below, you guys, which card you like better. Do you like the Granny Apple Green or do you like the Highland Heather one? I would love to know. And then I am so excited to be back to normal. My kids are in school. Things are settling down and I am back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. So make sure you follow me on Facebook. I will be doing my Facebook Lives on Fridays, and we're back at it. So I will be back on Friday to share with you another You Can Make It kit, and I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I'll talk to you guys later. Much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.